Hello everyone, this is Angel here, and we are finishing off Battle 3 today in the TFTC Reimagined Let's Play. And yeah, this one's an interesting one to talk about, called Trap the Rebel Fleet. Again, you may not recognise this name, that's because again, this is a brand new mission. So I'm going to shut up for a while and just let the briefing play out, so you can hear what's going on. The construction of Station NL1 is complete and fully supplied. However, the remaining Rebel and Bakuni forces continue to harass and threaten our interests in this system. Thanks to your recent efforts in capturing high-ranking Rebel officers, we now know they have a small fleet nearby, along with the remaining Bakuni pirate forces who have joined them. We also know they still haven't given up on the possibility of defeating us by destroying NL1 and killing Vice Admiral Thrawn before we can fully establish a foothold here. Killing Thrawn would certainly be a major victory for the Rebels, given his tactical prowess. With this information, the Admiral is preparing a trap to draw out this enemy fleet and crush them once and for all. Thrawn himself will be the bait, and under the pretense of an inspection, will be boarding NL1 while the Victory-class Star Destroyer Stalwart leaves the area to escort a final convoy to the station. We want to create the impression that the station will be vulnerable to a larger assault without the Stalwart around to defend it, and with Thrawn himself on board, he believes the Rebels will finally believe it's worth the risk to commit their entire fleet to eliminate both the station and Thrawn in a single heavy strike, especially once we leak this information about Thrawn's visit. In reality, the Stalwart will be making a short jump to a nearby system to rendezvous with an interdictor cruiser and additional fire support, so if and when the Rebels strike, we can close the trap, prevent their escape, and crush their remaining forces in one fell swoop. This won't be without its dangers though. The station and Thrawn himself will be vulnerable, but we also need to do our best to draw out the Rebel fleet by trying to make NL1 seem as vulnerable as possible. To this end, if the Rebels try to draw out our forces before committing their main fleet, we will oblige by sending your squadron, TIE Interceptor Group Gamma, and the modified frigate Ludwig out to meet them. You will be flying an assault gunboat designated Tau 1 with 5 wingmen and armed with concussion missiles. Modified corvette Horvus and our remaining TIE fighters will hold station close to NL1 to provide cover fire from enemy craft making strafing runs. We expect a sizable combined force of both Rebel and Bakuni ships, including all manner of starfighters, assault transports, and any remaining corvettes or other capital ships they may have in their fleet. Also, be on the lookout for any shuttles attempting to escape with Rebel officers on board. Okay, that's quite a lot to digest here, so where should we begin? Alright, well first I think I should say this is, as I said, brand new mission. This one I designed completely from scratch. Battle 2 Mission 5, the Battle of Sepun. I still did build upon the original mission, even though it's completely different. The installation, there were still elements of that original mission there, like the entry point of the Trop Sabor and position of the Protector and whatnot. This one, very brand new mission, from complete scratch, first time. And Thrawn hopes this is also the first time I've actually combined missions together, so the classic campaign has 6 missions in Battle 3. Opportunity and when I was going through this and I was looking at the missions, we had Battle 3 Mission 4, the last mission, where we defended the station from a rebel attack. In Classic, the next mission is Thrawn goes to inspect the station and you have to again defend the station from a rebel attack. And then the last mission is you basically waiting for a couple of system patrol craft to come and help basically be its permanent guard, and again defend the station from a rebel attack. I felt this was redundant. This was just repeating the same thing over and over again, just with slightly different story circumstances. So I again wanted a nice big fight to end this battle, and throughout this campaign I've kind of been hinting that the Rebels have a much larger force present. So here we are. We're going to have a fleet fight. We're going to try and draw out the Rebels and crush them this time. So yeah, this mission is basically a combination of Mission 5 and Mission 6 in the classic version, or based on them anyway. So as far as what we've pulled from Mission 5, or what I've pulled from Mission 5, the only element that's the same here is that Thrawn is still going to inspect the station, except this time it's under the pretense of an inspection, because we're really trying to draw the rebels out this time.
Looks like a rebel scout just entered the area.
This was also an opportunity to kind of showcase the tactical genius that is Thrawn, and why he's such a beloved character in Star Wars. Now, I'm not an amazing writer by any means, but I really wanted to try and sell this point that, anyway, we got the station, but we've still got this ongoing rebel pirate threat, and Thrawn is the type of guy who wants to, crush, completely stop this once and for all. And so, in understanding his enemies and their tactics, he knows the rebels will want to kill him because he's an important target. The rebels also know that out in the fringe here we don't have a lot of support, so that there's an opportunity for them to kill us. So yeah, we sell it that under the pretense of an inspection and the stalwart jumping away, we're going to leave the area vulnerable. So come on, it's an open invitation to attack, but at the same time not leave it too vulnerable. So we've still got the corvettes here, we've still got the frigate, and we've still got plenty of fighter support. So, it's enough of a defense that it should encourage the rebels to at least commit their main fleet. But at the same time, I wanted to add some tactics to this mission as well, or feel like there's tactics going on. So, as you can see here, we've got a small strike force coming in at a long distance, and we're going to oblige by sending at least half our forces to engage them, as if, we're dumb enough to take the bait. At least, if this was any other Imperial officer other than Thrawn, this would seem like the thing we would do, because go kill the rebels. But Thrawn is doing this as a calculated move to make the station seem even more vulnerable, so that by the fleet comes in and our forces are in a difficult position. But in reality, what's happening is we're just luring them into a trap, and once the fleet arrives, they'll be approaching the station from one end, and then we'll have our forces and the Ludwig on to their relative right-hand side. And then after a couple of minutes, the Stalwart arrives with a strike cruiser, an interdictor, and 4 system patrol craft on their left-hand side. So they're almost pretty much surrounded on all sides. I think the Ludwig swings around behind them as well. So we've basically trapped the rebel fleet in a kind of a sort of pincer movement, but trying to surround them as best we can, as you can in a 360-degree environment like space. This is also the first time an interdictor is used in Reimagined. Again, we need to explain why the rebels don't just immediately jump away. Well, this is the reason. Thrawn has managed to convince someone high up that I need this interdictor and a bit of support to eliminate the rebels, and his force of persuasion has managed to do that. So yeah, we bring the interdictor in, and it stops us from jumping away, and then we have our big clash. It's not as big a fleet battle as the Battle of Seaburn, although there are a lot of enemy ships involved, a similar number amount. We've only got the 4 Imperial capital ships, but they're not in such a close formation altogether. So there is still a lot of danger in this mission. The station can still be destroyed potentially, although for the most part the AI can deal with it. I think on the hard difficulty you do need to make some effort to defend the station. But the other main point of failure is the interdictor. Once the rebels realise they're trapped, they throw all their bombers, as do the pirates, against the interdictor, and that can be destroyed. The pirates do end up sending some reinforcements in the form of a couple of Y-Wing squadrons, and the rebels themselves are throwing Y-Wings and B-Wings as well. As you can see here, the rebel and pirate fleet has arrived. It's a nice combination. No heavy cruisers. The heaviest ship here is the frigate and the Quasar carrier, which is a new ship we've added for Reimagined. You might recognise this ship from Star Wars Rebels and older Star Wars games, where this ship was always used by the Rebels as a carrier. Though in Star Wars Rebels, it was an Imperial carrier that they stole. So yeah, this This carrier helps explain why they have so many fighters as well. This is also, in designing these missions, it was actually the first time I actually added the Arquitans cruiser into a fight, even though we've seen the Arquitans in earlier missions now. I think it was the gunboat tutorial mission. Was there anyone else? No, I don't think we've seen it before then. This was the first time I added it in, but it's a captured Arquitans. It's under pirate or rebel control. Because the Arquitans has been about for quite a while. It's an older design, and I feel that, you know, if the rebels have managed to capture a Quasar, they can capture an Arquitans as well. So yeah, we've got a nice fleet combination here. See if we can see them deciding to have a go at this. Ow! Ow, 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 ow! Okay. Yeah, that almost killed me. That just proves how nasty assault transports are if they concentrate your firing. I went from full shields, 200% shields, to almost nothing in a space of 5 seconds. But I'm alright. We're okay. Doing well.
This is 3.
Here we triumphant music of reinforcements arriving. There we go. Here's Thrawn, well, at least here's the Stalwart, with the Strike Cruiser and the Interdictor, and also 4 system patrol craft. So this is an element that's been brought in from Mission 6 Classic, where you had to protect the station in these 2 system patrol craft from the final rebel assault. But in this case, Thrawn comes in with 4 of them, and they're not defenseless. They're actively going off and engaging the fleet. You know, another reason Thrawn didn't come in with a much bigger fleet is I'm kind of saying that this is as much as they were willing to send him. I'm sure he had to fight hard just to have an Interdictor sent to him, which is a very valuable asset as far as the you know, because there's not many of them flying about.
This is 3. I've got a starship firing at me.
But I just, again, towards the end of this mission, I wanted a nice big spectacle. Okay, at this point, with the reinforcements here, it's just a matter of time before that fleet is destroyed. Your job is just to make sure the Interdictor is kept alive. You can be engaged by A-Wings and Z-95s here, I think possibly X-Wings as well. So it's not necessarily a slam dunk of a fight, certainly not for the player.
Whoa!
But ultimately, assuming you keep the Interdictor alive, the end result is, even without your necessary, without you shooting at the capitals, the enemy fleet will be destroyed.
Another bandit down.
Pakuni Y-Wings are trying to make torpedo runs on the Interdictor.
There we go. Pakuni Y-Wings on their way to try and hit the Interdictor. As I said, I think on hard difficulty there's a lot more of these. It's been a while since I played this on hard, so I'm not sure how easy it is to stop. And you can see on the right hand side there's the Ludwig kind of swinging in behind to stop them from trying to turn around or escape. I didn't want the Ludwig to get too close because otherwise the AI would destroy the Ludwig from sheer being outnumbered in firepower. But I think it's just a nice way to show us encircling the rebel fleet. Bit of torpedo interception. Really do love these new explosions since the update. It's a shame a bit of the transparency issue. You see ships behind large explosions, but yeah, it still looks so much better than what it did before. All the new explosions and the debris and even the blast marks you see, so the sort of the hull damage and electrical sort of effects you see was mostly done by a chap called MacDonald. Not MacDonald, MacDonald. And with some help from Blue Max on doing the animations, like sparks and electrical effects and the glowing fire on the debris. Because the old debris was terrible. And that was just the stock, literally the stock X-Wing Alliance debris that came out when a ship was destroyed. Interesting story though, the debris caused a very, very weird bug which has plagued the mod since I can't even remember when. It's really so. It was first noticed in this mission. What would sometimes happen is your ship would just suddenly become disabled for no apparent reason. All your systems would be damaged, your engines were just cut out, your shield's gone, but you didn't take any damage. No lasers hit you, no missiles, and even if you were invulnerable, that's it. It just acted as if you were completely disabled. And try as we might, we couldn't figure out what was causing this. The only thing I did notice was that occasionally in the message log, I would see repeating messages that this ship had been destroyed, this ship had been destroyed. It was the same ship, but it was coming up as an X-Wing, not the ship that it was. So it would say X-Wing, for example, X-Wing Cormac been destroyed, X-Wing Cormac been destroyed, over and over again. And it was really, really weird. And for some reason, it didn't happen very often. It was very rare. It was impossible to get it to repeat on any kind of regular basis. And then it sort of showed up again every now and then, just once in a while. It was a pretty rare bug, I'd have to say. But during early beta testing, it did kind of pop up enough that it was a concern. But then towards the end of beta testing, it seemed to just kind of go away, or at least wasn't a problem. And then upon release, it didn't seem to be a major issue. No one was really reporting this kind of random disabling. So I thought, okay, maybe some hook update or anything had kind of fixed the problem. Well, it turns out not quite. So when McDonald released his first sort of set for debris, I tried it out. And I was trying it out on a new Reimagined mission, which I have posted a gameplay video. That's Battle 10 Mission 1, Full Speed to Killamar. Every time the Carrack cruiser was destroyed in that, I noticed that old behaviour had started up again. The random names just sort of popping up on the message. And trialing and error, I figured it had to do with debris. I knew it had something to do with the explosion of a large ship or station. So I forgot to mention that in the earlier story. I knew during the early investigations that it was tied to an explosion, and I thought maybe it's explosion splash damage, some kind of weird funky thing with the explosion splash damage reaching you, causing some kind of damage. But yeah, I knew it had something to do with that. And I thought that maybe the debris, when the debris is spawned, it's acting as a ship somehow, and the game is associating it as a ship, which is why we see the messages. Yeah, during the forum conversations, it was noticed by other people as well, and I was finally able to reliably get myself disabled in Battle 3 Mission 1, when that manufacturing station explodes at the beginning of the mission. 9 times out of 10, if I was close enough, I would be instantly disabled, no matter what craft I was in, no matter how strong my shields were, or how, even if I was fairly far away, a kilometre or two, I would end up disabled. And it turns out that one of the debris model files was the culprit. Now the game has about, I think, 11 or 12 debris files, and when a ship explodes, it just kind of propagates with this debris. I don't necessarily understand how it decides which debris to propagate with, but it does this. But there's one particular model file which was causing this problem. Now normally debris doesn't have any hitbox or collision boxes, so you can fly straight through them, lasers go through them, but this one model didn't. You could collide with it, and it seemed when that model, when that particular debris model despawned or exploded, that was what's causing the bug. So I think finally the end solution was to simply just replace it with a blank model, so that debris doesn't spawn. Because he tried to make new models, and the same thing would happen. So I don't know if this was that particular slot, but it doesn't happen anymore.
All pilots.
So yeah, bugs are weird. You get the strangest bugs when doing this. I'll talk about an ion cannon bug we have sometime as well. The Schrodinger's Ion, as we called it. And this cutscene, I always loved this cutscene. I love the music.
How are the repairs proceeding?
Damage caused by the rebel attack is almost repaired.
Excellent. I want this installation fully operational within the hour.
Yes, sir. We will be prepared for any further rebel attack.
Now, of course, there's a continuity issue with that cutscene because that Star Destroyer is not a Victory Destroyer. That's a full Imperial-class Star Destroyer. Imperial 2, even. And that's always bugged me. But, hey, what can you do? I mean, what can you do other than remake the entire cutscene? But that means we're remaking all the cutscenes, and that's not likely, I'm afraid. But hey, at least we got a medal now that's not being obscured by the Secret Order tattoo medal as well.
The trap worked perfectly.
As I said, that bug is more likely in the beginning campaigns. Later on, it's far less likely to happen.
Securing this sector for the Empire. The NL-1 station took some minor damage during the assault, but repairs are already underway. Vice Admiral Thrawn is issuing commendation medals to all our pilots for their valiant work, and in particular had special praise for your personal efforts.
Why, thank you.
Keep this up and you will surely make it far within the Imperial Navy.
I'm sure I will. Got a lot of kills, it's nice. Let's have a look. Have we got anything? No new memorabilia, so let's check the email. Oh no. Okay, no, sorry. I don't think I'm a lieutenant now, maybe, but... Personal congratulations from the Emperor. I somehow suspect the Emperor didn't really say that. There we go, 3 medals and third circle. Doing well. Filling up our case. But yeah, that was the final mission, Battle 3. Next up, it's Battle 4, the Habeen Narwak situation. We're finally going to pay some attention to Admiral Zarin. So join me next time for Battle 4 Mission 1. Until then, good hunting.